A Greek taxi driver put 2.85 million miles on one Mercedes engine. Meanwhile, your neighbor's new German car just died at 60,000. So what happened? When did German engineering go from building tanks to building problems? The truth is, old German cars were overbuilt on purpose. Engineers staked their reputations on durability. These 12 machines prove it. Some have crossed 1 million miles. Others refuse to quit after 40 years. Ready to see which German engines laugh at the odometer? Number 12. Volkswagen Beetle, 1965 to 1979. Let's start with the car that quite literally changed the world. The Volkswagen Beetle, particularly models from 1965 to 1979, houses one of the most legendary engines ever created. This air-cooled flat-4 boxer engine was so simple that mechanics in remote villages could fix it with basic tools. No water pump, no radiator, no complicated cooling system waiting to fail. The engine specs tell the story beautifully. Displacements range from 1.2 liters, producing 40 horsepower, to the later 1.6-liter versions, making 60 horsepower. Not powerful by any measure, but these engines routinely cross 200,000 miles without major repairs. One California owner famously drove his 1963 Beetle past 1 million miles on the original engine, earning a spot in automotive history. The secret lies in simplicity. With fewer parts to fail and an ingenious air-cooling design, these engines handle abuse that would destroy modern power plants. Maintenance is laughably easy. Change the oil every 3,000 miles, adjust the valves periodically, and the engine rewards you with decades of faithful service. Today, clean Beetles from this era sell between $8,000 and $25,000 depending on condition. But here's what makes them special. They're still being driven daily across the globe, from Mexican highlands to African deserts. When an engine design remains viable after 70 years, you're not looking at transportation, you're looking at engineering immortality. But if you think the Beetle engine is bulletproof, wait until you hear what Mercedes engineers built next. Number 11, Mercedes W124 E-Class, 1985 to 1995. Ask any Mercedes enthusiast which generation represents peak engineering, and most will say the W124 without hesitation. Built from 1985 to 1995, this E-Class was designed to survive taxi duty across Europe, and survive it did. Multiple examples have crossed 1 million miles on their original drivetrains. The engine lineup was impressive, but the inline-six M104 and the diesel variants earned legendary status. The 3.0-liter M104 217 to 228 horsepower, while delivering the silky smoothness that defined Mercedes. These engines were designed on paper to reach 400,000 miles with fastidious maintenance. Real-world results often exceeded expectations. Mercedes over-engineered everything on the W124. Thicker body panels, galvanized steel, double-sealed doors. The company's philosophy was simple: build it once, build it right. British motoring show Fifth Gear even did a 4-part series proving these cars were nearly indestructible. One Albanian taxi driver named Luan Nina drove his 1993 W124 diesel to 984,617 miles while using it as a taxi for 15 years. The original engine never needed rebuilding. He only stopped once for major repairs during that entire journey. Clean W124 sedans now sell between $10,000 and $20,000, while pristine wagons command up to $25,000. The rare 500e models built with Porsche can exceed $60,000. These prices reflect what enthusiasts already know. When you buy a W124, you're buying a car designed to outlive generations. Speaking of inline-six excellence, BMW built something during this era that shocked even Mercedes engineers. Number 10, BMW E33 series, 1982 to 1994. The BMW E33 series, built between 1982 and 1994, might be the most beloved BMW ever produced, and much of that love centers on one engine, the M20 inline-six. This power plant combined refinement with durability in ways that established BMW's reputation for decades to come. Mobil One once ran a famous endurance test using an E3325 is with the M20 B25 engine. After running continuously for 4 years in laboratory conditions, the car hit 1 million miles without any internal engine repairs, just regular oil changes every 7,500 miles per BMW's schedule. The engine engine still ran perfectly when testing concluded. The M20 B25 displaced 2.5 liters and produced 168 horsepower with 164 pound-feet of torque. Not earth-shattering numbers, but the delivery was sublime. These engines thrived on being driven hard, and many owners report reaching 300,000 miles with nothing more than basic maintenance. The key to M20 longevity is respecting the timing belt. Change it every 50,000 to 60,000 miles without exception, because this interference engine will destroy itself if the belt snaps. Beyond that requirement, the engine rewards owners with decades of smooth power delivery. E30s, in good condition, now sell between $12,000 and $35,000, with M3 variants commanding significantly more. The driving experience remains remarkably modern. Tight steering, balanced handling, and that signature BMW inline-six smoothness make every drive memorable. But BMW wasn't the only German manufacturer building legendary inline-six engines. Mercedes created a diesel that makes the M20 look fragile. Number 9, Mercedes E300 Diesel W210, 1996 to 1999. If you want an engine that genuinely runs forever, the Mercedes OM606 diesel deserves your attention. Found in the E300 Diesel W210 from 1996 to 1999, this 3.0-liter inline-six turbo diesel has achieved cult status among enthusiasts who value longevity above everything else. The OM606 was engineered with a cast-iron block and aluminum cylinder head. It produced 177 horsepower and 244 pound-feet of torque in turbocharged form. Those numbers seem modest, but the engine's internal strength is anything but. Enthusiasts have pushed modified OM606 engines past 500 horsepower on stock internals without issues. Mercedes designed this engine to routinely exceed 500,000 kilometers with proper maintenance. Many examples have surpassed 300,000 miles while still running smoothly. Consumer Reports highlighted the OM606 as one of Mercedes' most enduring diesels ever produced. The engine's simplicity contributes to its reliability. No common rail injection, no diesel particulate filters, just robust mechanical engineering that thrives on regular oil changes and clean fuel. Turbo-equipped versions from 1998 and 1999 are particularly sought after for their additional power and refinement. Clean examples now sell between $8,000 and $18,000 depending on mileage and condition. Maintenance costs remain reasonable because the mechanical nature of the OM606 means fewer electronic gremlins to chase. The OM606 proves diesel reliability, but what about BMW's naturally aspirated petrol engines? Their M54 answered that question definitively. Number 8, BMW E46 3 Series, 2000 to 2006. The BMW E46 3 Series, produced between 2000 and 2006, represents the sweet spot between analog driving enjoyment and modern refinement. The star of this generation was undoubtedly the M54 inline-six engine, which BMW engineers consider among their most reliable power plants ever created. The M54 B30 displaced 3.0 liters and produced 228 horsepower with 221 pound-feet of torque. But impressive numbers alone don't explain this engine's legendary status. One E46 Fanatics forum member documented his M54 reaching 550,000 miles on the original engine. Another owner reported 700,000 miles with only routine maintenance. BMW designed the M54 with aluminum construction to reduce weight while maintaining strength. The engine featured double overhead camshafts, variable valve timing through the Vanos system, and electronic throttle control. From 2001 to 2003, the M54 won Ward's 10 Best Engines Award consecutively. Common issues exist but remain manageable. The cooling system uses plastic components that require replacement every 100,000 miles. The Vanos system eventually needs attention. The crankcase ventilation valve requires periodic replacement. Address these items proactively, and the M54 rewards you with extraordinary longevity. Clean E46 models now sell between $8,000 and $20,000 depending on variant and condition. The 330i offers the best combination of performance and reliability. Maintenance costs remain reasonable compared to newer BMW models because the M54 lacks turbochargers and complex direct injection systems. The M54 proved BMW could build reliable modern engines. But before that success, Their M50 and M52 engines had already established the template. Number 7. BMW E34 5 Series, 1991 to 1996. The BMW E34 5 Series, built from 1991 to 1996 houses what many consider BMW's golden age inline-six engines. The M50 and later M52 power plants combined performance with reliability that modern BMW engines struggle to match. These cars were engineered before cost-cutting became standard practice. The M50 B25 displaced 2.5 liters and produced 189 horsepower. The Vanos-equipped M50TU version added variable valve timing for improved torque delivery. These engines featured forged crankshafts and robust bottom ends that handle abuse remarkably well. Many high-mileage M50 engines have exceeded 300,000 miles and are still driving daily. BMW built these engines with simplicity in mind. No turbochargers, no direct injection, no complex emissions equipment waiting to fail. The result was an engine that mechanics describe as bulletproof. Forum members regularly share stories of M50 engines running perfectly after 2 decades of daily driving. The cooling system remains the primary concern. Water pumps use plastic impellers that eventually fail. Expansion tanks crack with age. Address these items proactively around 100,000 miles, and the engine itself continues indefinitely. Many owners perform preventive cooling system overhauls and enjoy trouble-free ownership afterward. E34 prices remain surprisingly affordable at $6,000 to $18,000 for clean examples. The 525i offers excellent value while the rare M5 commands premiums exceeding $40,000. These cars deliver a driving experience that feels substantial and connected in ways modern BMWs have lost. BMW's inline-six engines earned their reputation, but Porsche created an air-cooled masterpiece that defines longevity. Number 6. Porsche 911 993 1994 to 1998. The Porsche 993, built between 1994 and 1998, represents the final air-cooled 911. Its M64 flat-six engine stands as the culmination of 3 decades of continuous development. Porsche refined every weakness from earlier generations, creating what many consider the ultimate air-cooled engine. The 3.6-liter M64/05 produced 272 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque in standard Carrera form. The engine featured hydraulic valve lifters for the first time in a 911, eliminating periodic valve adjustment requirements. This refinement dramatically reduced maintenance complexity while improving reliability. Porsche designed the 993 engine to handle extensive mileage without complaint. Reports of engines reaching 240,000 miles and beyond aren't uncommon. The Porsche Club of America notes that properly maintained 993 engines can approach 400,000 miles before requiring major work. The key requirements are regular oil changes and addressing minor issues before they cascade. The air-cooled design eliminates water pump failures, radiator leaks, and coolant system complexity that plague modern engines. Fewer parts mean fewer failure points. The engine rewards owners who respect warm-up procedures and maintain proper oil levels. Clean 993 Carreras now command $65,000 to $120,000 depending on variant and condition. Turbo models exceed $150,000 regularly. These prices reflect collector recognition of the 993 as a legitimate modern classic. The final air-cooled 911 represents automotive history you can still drive daily. Air-cooled perfection has its merits, but Porsche also built a water-cooled 4-cylinder that surprised everyone. Number 5. Porsche 944 1982 to 1991. The Porsche 944, produced from 1982 to 1991, proves that Porsche could engineer reliable 4-cylinder engines. The M44 series engine featured an innovative design derived from the 928's V8 and incorporated counter-rotating balance shafts that eliminated the vibrations typically plaguing 4-cylinder engines. The naturally aspirated 2.5-liter M44 produced 163 horsepower in European specification. The 944 Turbo added forced induction and produced 217 to 247 horsepower depending on variant. These engines combine lightweight construction with robust internals designed for motorsport duty. Porsche earned over 1,500 racing victories with 944 variants during the model's production run. The IMSA GTU and GTO classes saw numerous 944 competitors because the engine combined reliability with improved impressive performance potential. Privateer racers particularly appreciated the engine's durability under track conditions. The primary maintenance requirement is timing belt replacement every 28,000 miles without exception. The M44 uses an interference design that destroys valves if the belt snaps. Water pumps should be replaced simultaneously. Beyond this critical service, the engine runs reliably for decades. Clean 944 models now sell between $15,000 and $35,000 for naturally aspirated versions. Turbo variants command $35,000 to $65,000 for excellent examples. The 944 offers genuine Porsche ownership at attainable prices while delivering handling that embarrasses modern sports cars. Porsche proved 4 cylinders could be reliable, but Audi created a turbocharged engine that defined a generation of performance cars. Number 4. Audi S4 B5, 1997 to 2002. The Audi S4 B5, produced between 1997 and 2002, introduced the legendary 2.7-liter twin-turbo V6 that enthusiasts still obsess over today. This Biturbo engine combined Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system with turbocharged power in ways that terrified BMW M3 owners. The 2.7T produced 250 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque from the factory. But the engine's real strength lies in its construction. Audi designed the 2.7T with forged steel crankshafts capable of handling 800 horsepower with proper tuning. The stock internals have supported builds exceeding 600 horsepower without opening the engine. Many owners report reaching 300,000 miles on original engines with proper maintenance. The key is addressing common weak points proactively. Replace the timing belt every 60,000 miles without exception. Upgrade to K04 turbochargers from the RS4 to eliminate the fragile stock K03 units. Use synthetic oil exclusively. The engine's reputation for turbo failures often stems from neglected maintenance and aggressive tuning on stock components. Well-maintained examples running conservative tunes deliver exceptional reliability. The Biturbo design provides smooth power delivery that feels sophisticated rather than agricultural. Clean S4B5 models now sell between $12,000 and $25,000, depending on condition and maintenance history. Examples with documented turbo upgrades and service records command premiums. These cars offer genuine performance with tuning potential that modern Audis simply cannot match. The 2.7T proved Audi understood forced induction, but their turbocharged inline-5 took performance to another level entirely. Number 3. Audi RS2 Avant, 1994 to 1995. The Audi RS2 Avant, produced between 1994 and 1995, resulted from an unlikely collaboration between Audi and Porsche. This turbocharged wagon houses the ADU variant of Audi's legendary 2.2-liter, 20-valve, inline-5 engine that traces its lineage directly to Group B rally dominance. The RS2 produced 311 horsepower and 302 pound-feet of torque from its turbocharged 5-cylinder. These numbers embarrass contemporary supercars. The RS2 hit 60 miles per hour in 4.8 seconds, quicker than a Ferrari 456 GT of the same era. Porsche specified the larger K24 turbocharger, exhaust manifold, intake system, and brakes. Audi's inline-5 engines earned cult status through motorsport success and overbuilt construction. The cast-iron block handles enormous power increases without modification. Enthusiasts have pushed modified ADU engines past 700 horsepower on stock engine blocks. The engine's durability comes from Group B rally heritage, where failure meant losing championships. Several RS2 owners report reaching 240,000 miles on original engines with proper maintenance. The timing belt requires replacement every 60,000 miles because the interference design destroys valves if it fails. Beyond this service, the engine thrives on regular oil changes and synthetic lubricants. Only 2,891 RS2 units were ever produced, making them genuinely rare. Clean examples now command $80,000 to $150,000 depending on condition and documentation. These prices reflect collector recognition of the RS2 as an automotive icon that defined the performance wagon segment. The RS2 proved wagons could be weaponized, but Volkswagen created a turbocharged engine that launched countless careers. Number 2. Volkswagen Golf GTI MK4, 1998 to 2004. The Volkswagen Golf GTI MK4, produced from 1998 to 2004, democratized turbocharged performance with a legendary 1.8 T20 valve engine. This power plant became one of the most tuned engines in history while simultaneously proving proving remarkably reliable when properly maintained. The 1.8T produced 150 to 180 horsepower, depending on market and variant. The engine combined turbocharging with 5 valves per cylinder and iron block construction. Despite modest factory output, the 1.8T responds dramatically to modifications. Simple tune and bolt-on upgrades reliably produce 250 horsepower, while built engines have exceeded 500 horsepower. Volkswagen installed the 1.8T across multiple platforms including the Golf, Jetta, Passat, and Audi A4. This widespread use means parts remain plentiful and affordable. Many owners report driving their 1.8T engines past 200,000 miles and beyond with nothing more than regular maintenance. The engine's Achilles heel is oil sludge formation if maintenance is neglected. Volkswagen even issued extended warranties addressing this concern. The solution is simple. Use full synthetic oil and change it every 5,000 miles without exception. Let the turbo cool before shutdown. Follow these rules, and the engine rewards you with decades of service. Clean GTI MK4 examples now sell between $6,000 and $15,000 depending on condition. These prices represent genuine performance bargains. The combination of practicality, tuning potential, and proven reliability makes the MK4 GTI an intelligent enthusiast choice. The 1.8T proved turbocharged reliability was possible, but BMW created an engine that many consider the greatest naturally aspirated inline-six ever built. Number 1. BMW E39 530i, 1996 to 2003. The BMW E39 530i produced between 1996 and 2003 houses what many consider BMW's finest naturally aspirated engine. The M54 B30 in this chassis represents the pinnacle of inline-six engineering before turbochargers and complex emissions equipment changed everything. This 3.0-liter engine produced 228 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque with linear power delivery that modern turbocharged engines cannot replicate. The aluminum construction reduced weight, while the Vano's variable valve timing optimized performance across the entire rev range. The engine sounds magnificent and delivers power with silky smoothness. The E39 platform amplifies the M54's qualities. BMW engineered the chassis with double wishbone front suspension and sophisticated rear multilink geometry. The result is handling precision combined with ride comfort that embarrasses newer 5 Series generations. The combination of engine and chassis creates automotive perfection. Longevity reports for the M54 are remarkable. One owner documented 410,000 miles on his E39 530i with the original engine still running perfectly. Another reached 700,000 miles before selling the car to someone who continues driving it daily. These engines simply refuse to die when properly maintained. Clean E39 530i examples now sell between $8,000 and $18,000 depending on mileage and condition. Manual transmission variants command premiums because they are increasingly rare. These prices represent extraordinary value for an executive sedan that outperforms many modern competitors. The E39 530i proves that peak German engineering happened decades ago. These cars weren't just reliable, they were built to last generations. These 12 German cars share something modern vehicles have lost. Their engineers built them without planned obsolescence in mind. They used thicker materials, simpler systems, and robust designs because their professional reputations depended on it. The result is machinery that refuses to quit. If you enjoyed discovering these bulletproof German engines, you'll love our video on SUVs that laugh at 200,000 miles. Hit subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into automotive excellence. Because the best car isn't always the newest one, sometimes it's the one still running 30 years later.